Hello everybody, I'd like to call this episode my Transformers story. This story is really about what happened to me when I was a kid in elementary school. So it really starts off with recess. You know, you get that 15 or 20 minute break between classes, right? So I was in elementary school in grade, I think I was in grade 1 or 2. So amongst a certain group of students that I didn't really know, some I knew and some I didn't know, we would have our Transformers meetings. We never actually gave it a name like our group, but what we did was that we just got together in one place in the school, brought our Transformers, and we played with them. I would play with the Transformers that another kid brought, and then that was our thing. We would do that every single recess, and then there would be interested kids that would be looking over our shoulders and just like, you know, checking out, see what we're doing. And of course, it was a time when Transformers was obviously very popular. So I was part of that group, and then there was another kid that was kind of mean who said that if you don't have any Transformers, then get the hell out of here. There's no place for you. I was very neutral to that. I didn't really care. But all I cared about was that the fact we got to play with them during recess. Now, the Transformers I had were never the actual real Transformers from Hasbro. They were actually the original stuff from Takara, like that my dad brought back from Asia. He always did business back and forth in Hong Kong. So he would bring back these Japanese Transformers for me and my brother. It would be the ones from Takara. There was one robot that had 5 motorcycles combined together, and then there was another one that was like, it was an insect. In Japanese, the name was actually called Beatgirl, which eventually became part of the newer generation Insecticons line. Another one was a robot called Orgus, O-R-G-U-S-S, and then of course there was the Macross Valkyrie. But all the other kids had the authentic Transformers from Hasbro. Anyways, so we played with Transformers every recess. We also traded them. So I remember there was one time where a kid wanted to borrow me and my brother's Macross Valkyrie. It was the Rick Hunter, or actually the Ichijo Hikaru Valkyrie. I think it's the VF1J. And so he took it home, and then we took that kid's wheeljack to play with. So days have gone by, we've played with it enough, and then the kid says to me that he needs the wheeljack back, but he didn't bring back the Valkyrie. So he said, yeah, I'll bring it back. So I brought it back, and then he was supposed to bring back our Macross Valkyrie, but he didn't. And he said that he'll bring it back next time. So we just took back the wheeljack, and we just kept on waiting and waiting, and then he never brought it back. And we still kind of have faith that he would bring it back, but then we would come to that meeting, where we always had our Transformers meetings, and then he never came, and me and my brother, we just looked at each other, and we just kind of like, you know, what can we do? And it was actually a really disappointing feeling, but we didn't really know how to express it to each other. And we didn't feel like angry or anything, but we just felt disappointed. But we didn't know how to really express the sadness or, you know, the frustration in that. So we just kind of shrugged it off. You know, now that I'm talking about it, I feel like actually kind of upset about it. We did tell our parents, and they gave us, I think, not really a lecture, but just telling us that, you know, don't ever do it again. Don't, you know, there's a lesson learned here. It's just pretty upsetting that someone would do such a thing. You know, with all this talk about Transformers, I decided to just tell you guys this story, which I like to call it my Transformers story. And I know it is really upsetting, and people have lost things like that in the past, and it really does suck. But I feel that at this point in time, just a few days from the big tsunami and earthquake in Japan, I feel that that is nothing. Like, we have so many problems going on in our lives, but all of our problems combined does not amount to what the Japanese are going through at this very moment. There are people going on without food and water for 4 days. The death toll has been well over 10,000, and we don't know what's going to happen in the next few days or weeks or even months. I know for Tokyo it's time to rebuild, but the other parts like Miyagi and Sendai is just completely destroyed coastline. People are without homes, and their loved ones are missing, and it's just not a really good time for the people of the country. And they are saying that this is the worst crisis for Japan since World War II. So I just want to take this moment to really tell you guys that you can be upset about things like missing Transformers, or someone, you know, stole something from you, and you know, that is really upsetting, right? And you also take that very personal, but just look at the bigger picture and just be thankful for the things that you do have and not what you don't have. Be thankful that you still have your family, you have a home, and of course your your well-being. If you can help the people in Japan, please donate. I've listed some charities below in the description box where you can just put in like $5 or $10 or just whatever you can afford, and that will go a long way. But before you decide to donate, do some research and then make sure that it is the charity that you want to donate to. And this kind of reminds me of how back in 2004 I started my own company. It was an online action figure store. What had happened during that time, in the first 3 months of me being in business, my computer, which had all my work, all my accounting, all my inventory, that computer just crapped out on me and stopped working. And then I was really upset about it. You know, it was really frustrating. My brother actually, he was in Japan at the time in 2004, and I told him about my computer crapping out on me, and then he went online to Dell, and then he ordered the best laptop there was for me, and that was so awesome of him. It was like a Christmas gift. It was really expensive at the time. But when I think back of what I lost and how I didn't back up any of my work, it was upsetting. But it was also at the time when tens of thousands of people were actually killed in the tsunami in Thailand. I was just thinking that I shouldn't really even be upset about this, because the people in Southeast Asia have a even bigger problem, and their problem consists of things that they'll never get back, or it'll take years and years to rebuild. And for me to freak out about an exploding hard drive or my computer not working anymore is just small potatoes. So just cherish what you really have. Anyways, please help out if you can. Pray for Japan. My name is Alex Yu, and thank you for watching.